Good evening. We're just waiting for Instagram to connect up. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the EKM live session on Facebook and Instagram for Building Your Shop. My name is Stephen Howells. I'm the Head of Customer Experience for EKM. My job here is to make sure that our customers are happy through the support that we provide customers day in, day out for everybody who has a website through EKM.
And I'm Gemma, and I'm the Product Trainer at EKM, so I ensure that all of our staff know exactly how to work the system so they can then teach you guys how to work it and hopefully make your shops as successful as possible.
So tonight, what we're going to do, we did originally plan to show you a few bits and pieces on the TV, but the camera quality unfortunately wasn't great. So we're going to improvise a little bit tonight, and Gemma's going to talk you through a few steps for setting up your shop. We will take any questions that you've got once Gemma's gone through bits and pieces, and we'll just go through as much as what we can do. Obviously, building your shop is quite a broad subject, so we're not going to be able to cover everything today, and we'll try and answer as many questions as what we can do as well throughout the hour. But if there's anything that you want us to cover off in future sessions or anything along those sort of lines, then all you need to do is email us or contact us, and I'm sure that we can arrange future Facebook Live sessions through any topic that you want us to try and cover off. So first things first, we'll go through some of the most important steps, if you will, for setting up your shop, which Gemma will go through now for you all.
So, yep, that's my job now. We at EKM try and make things as easy as possible for you guys to understand. We want you guys to be able to build the shop the best that you can. So, when you log in, when you first sign up for your account, you'll log in and you'll be taken to our dashboard. It'd be good to show you, but unfortunately we can't do that right now. And on there, you'll have a little step-by-step guide on how to set up your shop within 24 hours. And if you follow each of these steps, then that's more than possible to do that. So, sorry. The first step when you want to set up your online shop is getting the design right. So here at EKM we actually have over 150 themes for you guys to be able to choose from. These are all set up ready for you to use, really quick and easy to edit. You don't have to have any prior HTML knowledge to be able to do this, which is really good. And we're releasing new themes constantly, so if you're follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see these released quite often, and also on our blog. The themes that we offer, there's quite a few different ones, and they all offer different things. So if you're looking for something quite specific, it might be useful to just have a look through some of the themes. If you're looking for, say, a certain type of menu or certain size promo banners, and we do also target our themes towards industries. So if you do run a clothes shop, then we have themes that are targeted towards that. But yeah, all the themes are applicable to all industries if you did want to choose a clothes shop theme for some other type of industry. Once you're happy with your design, then we would want you to move on to step 2. I feel like I'm going a little bit fast there. So step 2 is adding your categories and products. By the time you come to open your EKM shop, I'm guessing you've probably already chosen your product line. But before you start adding products or categories, you really want to sit down and have a little think about your category structure. It's really important when you first set up your shop to get this right, because you need to think about setting up your shop for the customer, not for you or how you want it to look. You've got to think about how your customer will find it as easy as possible. So we actually have a really good blog article out at the moment, if you go on ekm.com/blog, on how to create a really good category structure, which would be really useful for you guys to look at. So once you've worked out how you want your categories to work, how you want your top level categories and subcategories to be, then you can start adding them on. It's really simple and easy to add products and categories onto the EKM shop. We have a shop tab, which the step 2 part of the step-by-step checklist will actually take you to. And it's just a really simple button that will open up a pop-up box for you, and then there's literally steps on the left hand side that you follow down, such as adding names, adding descriptions, adding images. It's useful when you're adding descriptions as well to make sure that your descriptions are over 250 characters in length. This is purely for search engine purposes, as well as letting your customers know what the product is. People aren't going to buy a product if they're not 100% sure what it actually is, which is obviously a really good reason to have the image on there as well. I know I wouldn't buy from a shop that didn't have a image for the product I was looking for. But yeah, it's really important when it comes to search engine stuff, because you need that information. The way that EKM works is that we auto-generate your metadata. So if you're not sure what that is, that's the information that goes through to search engines to let them know what it is that you sell. Because obviously search engines such as Google or Bing, they're intelligent but they're not psychic, so they need to know that information before they know where to list you. So yeah, 250 characters in length on your description, and a really good product or category name would be really important. Yeah, on your categories you can add an image to all of them, and on your products you can add up to 5 images. Obviously if you've got variants on that product, then you can add up to 5 images per variant. You can also add your categories and products using our import-export feature, which I think we're going to look at a little bit further on in this live session. But if you do already have a spreadsheet containing all of your products and categories, then it's a really simple CSV or Excel upload, which will literally, as long as everything's within the same headings that we provide, then it's a really quick and easy process for you to add them on. So if you're one of those people who are already quite prepared with things like that, then you'll be able to sort that out pretty quickly. When you're adding categories and products as well, you can also add certain things such as your attributes, so weight for your products, which will lead into one of our further steps, which is delivery options. So if you are doing delivery by weight, then you can add weight to each of your products. I mentioned previously that you can add variants to your products. So if you're selling clothes and you've got different sizes, different colours, you can add all those in variants. And they also come onto our stock management feature. So if a person buys a certain colour and size, then there's each individual stock for each of those individual items. If that makes sense. I'm a bit lost then. Yeah, and that's adding your categories and products. It would be a lot easier to be able to show you, like I said, but if there are loads of videos and sport guides on all this, so if you did want to see something, then you can do on our sports centre, which we'll have a look at later on. After adding your categories and products, then it's important to add your delivery options. So a lot of people are not sure about delivery when they first set up a shop, because there's a lot of options out there in regards to couriers, Royal Mail, what type of packaging you're going to use, but it's really important to look at this quite early on. You don't want to get your first order and be completely unsure about how you're going to send that item out. So we have a full section on delivery options. It's actually quite a new feature for EKM, and it's definitely improved from what it was before. So in our delivery options, you can actually set deliveries for different countries. You can also restrict deliveries within countries to certain postal areas, if you've got postal codes for that country. So for example, in the United Kingdom, you've got the option to limit certain delivery methods for like the Highlands and Islands of Scotland, which is something that people have asked for previously. Also, with your delivery options, you've got price restrictions on there, so you can add price or deduct prices if the cart value goes up, which is really good if you've got high value items and you've got certain insurance policies that you might need to increase the price for that. But one that is used most often within EKM, which I see from our customers, is the weight restrictions. So you can, like I said to you previously about adding your product categories and products, you can actually add weights to all your products, which would then relay into your delivery methods. So if you were selling quite a wide variety of different products, especially if you've previously sold on places such as eBay or anything like that, which does delivery by weight as well, you can increase or decrease your delivery methods prices according to the weight of the full cart when the person goes through. So yeah, adding delivery options early on is really important, especially when you're looking at certain couriers, because every courier obviously charges different, and they've all got different zones and different areas where they do and don't deliver to. So having that knowledge early on is pretty important. Step 4 we're up to. So that's add contact details. So it sounds like a really simple step, and it probably is to most people, but it's really important that you do have contact details on there for yourself, because when someone's buying from a shop, they want to know that they can contact that shop owner if anything goes wrong, if they want to get a refund, or even if they just want to ask you a question about the product itself. Not many people will actually buy from a shop just the first shop they visit, so a lot of people like to look around, they want to be able to contact and ask questions to the owner, so having contact details is really important. We do understand that obviously a lot of our customers are start-up businesses, so they might not want to put their home address down on there, but at least having a telephone number and an email address is really important. We also have contact forms that you can put onto your shop. Each shop actually comes with a contact form as standard, so we would recommend leaving this on there for you, and that'll send you a direct email to the contact details that you've entered into the back end of your shop, so a customer can just contact you through there. But yeah, contact details are really important. Anything you want to add at this point?
No, I mean, contact details just sort of puts a lot of confidence in your customers. They know that if they've got contact details and you're contactable, it adds quite a lot of buying confidence. So, like Gemma says, it's something that quite a lot of people sort of take for granted or ignore or forget about when they're looking at setting up an online shop. But it's amazing how many people do actually forget, and then when they contact us because they're not getting sales or they want help and advice, etc., that's one of the first things that we will say to people. Get contact details on there, make it easy for your customers to contact you, inspire confidence in what you're selling and also your brand and your company, if you will. So yeah, it's definitely an important step.
Okay, so we're already up to step 5. Obviously when you're doing this yourself, these steps are going to take a little bit longer than it takes us to talk about it, unfortunately. Yeah, step 5, it's a really quick and easy process, and we would recommend following the steps that we have set out for you. But step 5 is adding a domain name. If you're not too sure what a domain name is, it's the URL that you would enter to get to a customer's shop or your shop. So, for example, ours is ekm.com. And having a domain name is really important for your shop. You do get a temporary one when you first sign up with us, but it's not one that you'd really want to keep going forward. When you're choosing your domain name, you should really think about your brand, how you want it to be for the rest of your shop's life, really, because changing your brand is a really difficult process. So having that domain name right from the start is pretty essential. We will make domain name suggestions for you based on the company details that you've already added when you first signed up for your EKM shop. But a really part of good news is that you actually get a domain name for free with us when you sign up. So you don't have to worry about going buying that elsewhere or worrying about how to purchase a domain name, because we would give you that for free. And you can buy it through, obviously you get it through us, so everything's held in the same place. But yeah, a domain name is really, really important. You don't want anything too long, too flashy, and you also don't want anything that doesn't kind of explain what you are at the same time, or at least include your shop's name. We've seen domain names in the past which have been a complete explanation of the whole shop, which will say exactly what that shop's selling, but it's not a memorable way of remembering that shop, which is what a domain name is for in the end. It's so people know exactly where to go when they want to purchase from you. As I said, domain names are free, and other things to think about when you're getting a domain is how you want the end of the domain to be. So by that, what I mean is whether you want it to be, say, .co.uk, .com, .shop, .boutique, .uk. There's thousands of different domain name extensions out there, and you can literally choose any that you want pretty much on the EKM domain section. So have a think about how you want that to look. If you are looking to ever sell internationally, so you want to sell to America, you want to sell further out into Europe, then you probably want to look into more getting a .com domain name, because it's more memorable, it's more recognisable, people trust it a little bit more. Whereas if you are only ever going to sell within the UK, you're a UK seller, you're only going to ship to the UK, then obviously a .co.uk domain is fantastic for within the United Kingdom. It's not to say that you can only have one domain name on your shop as well, because you can have as many as you want. You can purchase numerous domain names from us after your first one, but it's always just good to have a little bit of think about how you want that to be, whether you want it to be a .co.uk or .com. And also, buying a domain name early is also quite important, because you will find people out there who will monopolise on your business idea, may purchase that domain name before you. But yeah, getting a domain name is a really important step. It's really easy to set up as well. When you buy a domain name through us, we'll actually set that all up for you, so you don't have to worry about pointing it to certain IP addresses or changing any settings in the back end, because that's all done automatically by us. And also, when you buy a domain, or get your domain for free I should say, we also have email packages on there that you can get, so you can have an official email address with your shop, which is always a good feature to have, rather than having a Gmail account or hotmail.com account within your contact details. You can actually have info@yourdomainname.com, for example, which is a really good feature to have with your shop as well. Really makes it a little bit more professional looking for you. With the domain names as well, so I already said you get the domain names for free. You also get an SSL certificate with your shop with us as well, with the domain name. So that's always a really good feature to have as well with your shop. Is there anything you want to add on domain names?
No, there's a few questions coming in at this
I know,
moment
I've
in
just
time,
seen them.
which we are looking at. We probably just go through a couple of other points and then we'll come back to those questions. So apologies if you're waiting for your question to be answered. There have been quite a few coming through, but we just thought it's probably just a good idea just to go through these points, and then we'll answer any questions that come through. So bear with us, it'll be a few more minutes and then we'll get to questions very, very shortly indeed.
Okay, happy with that?
Yep.
Okay, so we're already up to step 6, and that is adding a payment method. So if you've already got a shop with us, you might have already noticed that we do have a partner payment gateway, which is Klarna. When you first sign up for an EKM shop, you actually get automatically signed up for a Klarna account as well. So a Klarna is a cloud-based payment gateway, similar in fact to other ones that are out there on the market as well. But we have, like I said, a partner integration with them, and it's really easy. You don't have to worry about setting anything up on their side. It's all done through the ekm.com interface when you log in. However, if you didn't want to use them, or you wanted alternative, you already had a payment gateway that you were using with your previous site, we do have integrations with many other payment gateways such as PayPal, SagePay, Barclaycard, quite a few really out there.
Yep.
We have a big list on the EKM backend that you can have a look at if you wanted to. Obviously a payment method is really important, and having an official payment method on there is really important for customers' satisfaction really. We do offer offline payment gateways as well, such as telephone, bank transfer. However, it gives people more faith in your shop if you have an official payment gateway on there which is secure. And if people understand the brand as well, they're more likely to buy from you. Payment methods, they're really easy to set up. You do have to go through the payment gateway for any other payment gateway except for Klarna. So if you were setting up with PayPal, for example, you'd have to speak to PayPal. But the actual integration between the two is really simple. So don't worry about having to speak to them, speak to us, speak to them, speak to us. It's not like that at all. You do have to sign up with them, but then the integration between EKM and that certain payment gateway is a really simple process, and our customer support team will be happy to help you along with that, with any of the payment gateways that we do provide for you. Like I said, Klarna's our partner gateway, and it's the one that we would recommend to all of our customers. However, we do understand that people have already signed up for certain other gateways as well, so we do give you that option if you wanted to use them. Anything?
No, that's fine.
Okay, and then step 7 is quite an obvious one after you've set up your payment gateway, but it is to place a test order. One thing that I would say is when you're placing a test order is always go to your live site rather than doing it from the shop tab within your logged in version of EKM. It's a mistake a lot of people make, but some payment gateways don't go through properly when you're in the logged in version, so always go to your live site to place a test order. If you didn't want to make a full payment, you can add a product on there for a few pence if you wanted to put the test order through, but you always want to be able to see the customer's experience when they're checking out through your shop. And also just to make sure that everything's up and running, because you don't want your first customer to come on there and be ringing you up or emailing you saying, oh, I've tried to buy this item but I can't get through your payment gateway, or I can't figure out how to work your checkout. So you need to make sure that you've tested it and you know that it's all working fine. Again, if you're a bit unsure about doing this, then our customer support team will help you through this, but it's a really simple process. Just remember to always do it through your live site, so through your domain name directly. It's just, especially just to make sure everything's working, that's probably the biggest thing. But yeah, you just get to see your customer's experience when they're checking out through your shop. You want to know exactly what they're seeing, which is always a good thing to do. Okay? And then step 8, so here is where we would recommend that you submit to search engines and also submit to shopping directories. So submitting to search engines is a way of saying to search engines that you're ready for them to be able to view your site. It doesn't mean that you're going to appear in search engines straight away, unfortunately. We would love it if that was the case, but it's not, unfortunately. They don't work on our side all the time. We would say it's about 4 to 6 weeks before you would get indexed in search engines such as Google. However, it's good to submit to them and make sure that they know that you're live and ready to play, and get all your customers coming in. We do have a marketing section on EKM on the back end, a tab that you can click into, and on there's also 9 steps which you can follow to ensure that your shop has got the best chance of getting into search engines and to getting high into search engines, so as close to the first page as possible, because that's where everyone wants to be. But yeah, submitting to search engines and shopping directories, if you wanted to submit to shopping directories such as Google Shopping, this is where you would do that, and it would take you to that step. Okay, anything on that one?
No, but I'll cover off the last one for you. Come on, you've been talking for quite some time.
I like this one.
Section 9 really on the flow is site reviews. So site reviews basically is your opportunity to ask your account manager. If you sign up with EKM within the first 6 months, you will get a dedicated account manager who, everything that Gemma has been talking about, they will spend time with you making sure that you are set up in the right way. They will dedicate that time to help you answer any questions that you've got, and to also then do a site review for you. So they will have a look at the site and give you tips and recommendations. If you're outside that 6 months, then you can still request a site review, and that's done by our customer support team, where they will look at in-depth into your site, be it the design, be it your delivery options, payment gateways, the customer experience, all those sort of things. They will look at for you, and they will be honest. And if they don't think that something's quite right or doesn't look quite right, then they will tell you, because it's in your interest to be set up correctly. So we're not just going to want to tell you things that you want to hear. We will provide you with help and advice in both positive and negative development points from that side of things. But I'd also recommend as well getting friends and family to have a look at your website. Get as many people as you can do, have a look at the site before it goes live, and have a play around with it. And that way then you will get feedback from them, and it might be feedback that you can take on board and change certain things or whatever it may be. We also have a customer forum as well, and the sections on the customer forum where you can ask other EKM shop owners to have a look at your site They can recommend certain things for you. So I would just try and get as much feedback and input into your site once you believe that you're at a certain point to go live, because I'm sure then there'll be information that comes your way where you can tweak certain things and use as many people as you can do really for that side of things. I think that's the 9 steps that we were talking about covered off, and I know that's taken quite a bit of time and there's quite a lot of questions come in. So if you're just joining us, we are on EKM Live on Facebook and Instagram. My name's Stephen, I'm the customer experience or head of customer experience for EKM.
And I'm Gemma, and I'm the product trainer at EKM.
So what we'll do is we'll try and cover off some of the questions that we've got on both Facebook and Instagram as well. First one from Darren. Do we offer custom-made themes, as most of the themes don't really attract what we're after? Well, first and foremost, sorry to hear that, Darren, that you can't find something that sort of attracts or what you're looking to sort of build your website with. It would be good to get some feedback from you in terms of what you are looking for, what we're missing, because like Gemma said at the start, we are always adding new themes to EKM. So if there's a specific look that you're wanting to try and achieve, then do please contact our support team, let us know, let us have that feedback, and we can then have a look. In terms of answering your question, we don't specifically offer custom made themes. We do have specific design partners, if you will, who we can refer you to, and they can certainly have a look at that for you. Or if it's you like a certain theme but you want a certain bit tweaking maybe, or whatever it may be, then our customer support team are also trained to a certain degree to be able to make tweaks to themes and help you as much as what they can do.
And if you're looking to sign up, as well as a customer support team, the account managers as well will also do tweaks on a theme for you if there was just 1 or 2 little things that you wanted to change. On there.
Okay, so other questions that are coming in. One from Cheryl is how much are domain names? So domains, the first domain name is free with EKM. And you can have whatever domain name you're looking for from that side of things. Then any additional domain names are then charged at, I think it's $14.99 plus VAT.
Yeah, most are $14.99 plus VAT. I'm just going to correct Steve on this. We do have a few that are a little bit more expensive than that, which are premium domains. But it's from $14.99. The majority of ours are $14.99, but you do have a couple that are a little bit more expensive than that for secondary domains.
Okay, another question. There are lots of domains such as .coms, .shop, .org. Which is best for my online shop, and what's the difference? I'll let you take that one.
God. I previously mentioned about how you want to perceive how you want your business to be perceived as well. We as a company would recommend having a few different domain names, but for us, if you are looking to kind of sell internationally or anything like that, then a .com domain is really important. .shop, .boutique, .fishing, I think you can get now. It's quite a new one for us. They're all quite new domain names, and they kind of give the customer a little bit more of an idea of what it is you actually do and what kind of website it is that you're doing, because obviously if your shop name was quite general, then people wouldn't know just directly from your domain name what it is, what kind of business you were in. It might not even be a shop that you've got, for example. What is the shop? What's the difference? Anything you want to add?
I think what you've got to consider is obviously you buy a domain or you get a domain name free. If you're then sort of successful, and we would hope that you are, and you want to branch out, at that point then you might start thinking about adding further domains, .co.uk, .shop, .org, etc. But by that time, they could be gone. Yeah. There's nothing stopping from somebody else buying and purchasing that domain name. So you need to try and think in advance as well in terms of what is coming out in the market. Like Gemma says, there's various new domain names extensions coming out. So you need to have a think about whether those are going to be suitable, like .shop is coming out and is available through EKN domains. So you don't want somebody else to get the domain name that you want, because you will then end up paying them probably considerably more to obtain that domain name. So you need to think about it. Obviously go for one that you really want. It's probably a .co.uk or a .com like Gemma says, but ideally you'd probably get both and then look at other domain names extensions as well as either time goes by, or if you want to take them all at a certain time, then feel free to do so. But that's what I would recommend.
Just following on from what Steve said about buying both a .co.uk and a .com, is when you are purchasing getting your free domain name and you try and decide what your domain name is to be and whether you want a .co.uk and .com, is to already check whether someone has got the .com version or the .co.uk version, because it can get confusing for customers if someone with a different business has already got that same domain name but with a different extension at the end. So it's always useful to make sure that you're kind of the only one who's already got it, and then you can buy as many as you want in the future.
And Joe's asking, are the personal shop names included in the price?
I think she means the .shop domain names.
Possibly, or basically to answer your question, Joe, the first domain name that you get will be free through EKN. So if you're looking at adding further ones, then they are chargeable. But please give us a call or get in contact with us, and we can certainly go through that for you. But the first one that you get through EKM would be free. Michael has come up saying that he has a site with us. Would never dream of using anyone but EKM. That's very kind of you to say. So thank you very much for that. I'll send you the £10 later on, Michael. Thank you very much. Joe's asking, how often are the site reviews? The site reviews, you can, like I say, request a site review at the time when you think that you've built the shop, and our support team will do a site review for you. But we also have something that we're quite proud of, which is our evolution team and evolution reviews. So our evolution reviews are subject to the tier package that you are on. So if you're on the $24.99 plus VAT a month startup plan, then you will get one evolution review a year. If you're on our growing tier, then you'll get those quarterly. And if you're on our established tier with a dedicated account manager, then you'll get those every month. The purpose of those evolution reviews basically is to make sure that your shop is in the best possible state that it can be in to attract customers, because we obviously have customers who have been with us for quite some years, and when you look at their site, you can tell that it needs a bit of a spring clean, a bit of a refresh. New features come out that we release, which we want to try and encourage customers to use. So we've got a team of experts here who will look at sites and do an evolution review, where they will then recommend certain changes to be made, and that will go to yourselves as the shop owner for you to then either accept those changes or decline those changes. And if you then accept those changes, we will then make those changes for you free of charge. So that can be anything from changing your theme, designing some banners for you, changing your category structure, all sorts of different things that we can do for you. And that's all included in the price. And the key thing is that we need you to succeed. If you don't succeed, then we lose you as a customer. So at EKM, we want you to succeed, and we will do everything in our power to make sure that you do. And evolution reviews are part of that process. That's part of the service that we offer. And we've done thousands of those so far, and the feedback that we've had has been very, very good indeed. So if you haven't had an evolution review yet and you would like one, then get in contact with us at support@ekn.com, and we can certainly put you forward for one. But hopefully, shortly, you'll certainly hear from our evolution team at some point, and they will then go through that for you. So hopefully I have answered that question for you, Joe. Okay, so another question is, what are the benefits of registering a domain through EKM rather than a dedicated domain name company?
Okay, so obviously you get your first domain with us for free. I didn't mention earlier, just because it's on the same subject. If you've already got a domain name with another provider, you can also transfer that domain into us for free as well. So you don't have to just get a new domain name. You can use your previous domain names and transfer that in for us to hold. Benefits of having it through us is it's really good to have everything all together. Obviously, if you get the domain name through us as well, we look after everything for you. If you do get it through another dedicated domain provider, you have the added pressure there of if they go down for whatever reason, then it'll also bring your shop down with that domain. And also you've got to worry about looking after two different accounts, whereas if you get everything through us, then everything's under the same roof. So you kind of, your same support centre, you still get all your different support with EKM, with your domains, even if you just had the domains with us. And also our domain platform, I should say, is all manageable by yourselves, so you can actually change anything you want in there yourself, whereas a few of the other domain providers out there actually limit your access on their platform, the word, whereas we give you access to be able to change anything on there. Are you going to say something?
No, it's an added bonus really that everything's under one roof. Yeah. So if any changes need to be made for whatever reason, then we can either do that for you or we can talk you through how to do it. And it's all under one roof. So you don't have to be talking, like Gemma says, to numerous different companies to sort certain things out. Everything can be sorted out by us, and we'd be more than happy to do that for you. Moving on. Mike, I'm hosted by another host, but my shop is EKM. Should I move it to be hosted by you? Well, hopefully we've just answered that one. So yes, Mike, we can certainly look at that for you, and then it's all managed under one roof. Michael's going to hold me to that tenner. Great. Mike, another question. Can I build a second shop within my account with you, or would I have to pay again? We don't have a facility to have a second shop within the same account, so you would need to set up another account with EKM, and it's not something that we do in terms of discount for second shops or third shops, and we've got customers that have got sort of like 10, 11 shops with us. Yeah. It's not something that we do in terms of discount. We believe that EKM is value for money with everything that we provide for you and the help and support that we can provide. So we would like to think that it sort of pays for itself from that side of things, and that the support that we can give you will meet that extra cost that you've got to incur for a second shop. But we do have quite a few customers, like I say, that have numerous sites with us, and we would love it if you wanted to open up a second shop with us, Mike, and if you want to speak to our sales team and get an account manager for the first 6 months, then please do, and we will certainly have a look at it for you. John, I'd like 7-day telephone tech support. Any plans? Quite honestly, John, we would like that too. It's something that I'm working towards, and EKM is working towards. We know that quite a lot of our customers will have a 9-to-5 day job potentially, and building a website is secondary or is something that's a bit of a hobby and may then progress into a full-time business, if you will. So we would love to be able to support you outside of the hours of 8 till 6 Monday to Friday, and then 9 to 5:30 on a Saturday. We'd love to, and it's certainly something that's certainly on my radar to try and provide that for you. I would want it to be whenever you had a problem or wanted to get help or advice, whether that's at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, midnight, whatever it may be, that we can then provide that help and support for you. And that's certainly something that we are looking at doing. It's on our radar. We have extended the opening hours a couple of years ago. It was 9 to 5:30 Monday to Friday, and we then wanted to extend that as much as what we could do, so we went to 8 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening, But yes, we would certainly want to do that. Obviously, as well as the customer forum, which customers go on there at any time, day or night. So if we're not around for because it's outside of our opening hours, then you can always go on the forum, etc. And other customers who are very knowledgeable as well will be more than happy to help people. But yes, to answer your question, yes, we do have plans. I can't sort of say how long that's going to be, but it's certainly something that we want to try and introduce for everybody. What are the benefits of the established plan, and is it worth the price? I will take that one as well. Is it worth the price, first and foremost? Hell yes. Yes, it is. For what you get in terms of the benefits. The main benefit, being quite honest with you, is a dedicated e-commerce expert. And these guys know what they're talking about, not just with EKM, but with third-party things like Google Analytics. They will look at heat mapping for your site. They will look at a lot of things for you to try and aid you in generating more sales, improving your website, whatever it may be. And you also then get the monthly evolution reviews as well. So we will constantly be looking at your site. We'll be probably more familiar with it than what you will be at times, so that we can then come to you and say, look, we think that this needs to be changed, or you need to do this, or whatever it may be. And your account manager will work with you and help and support you. I've been to actually see a few customers with account managers, etc. And it's great to actually get out and see customers and see how they use EKM and how we're benefiting their businesses. But the main benefit of the established plan, I would say, is the e-commerce expert. They are there primarily for you, and they will help you and your business increase your turnover, whether it's looking at Google Analytics and whether it's AdWords. They'll come up with strategies on the AdWords spends, etc. Help you try and get a better rate of return. All those sort of things they will have a look at for you. Quite a lot of customers will look at the price and go, wow, that's quite expensive, etc. But when you compare that to competitors and what you are getting, it really isn't. And we would like to hope as well that the e-commerce expert will add more value than the price it is for the established tier. And I can't stress that enough in terms of the e-commerce experts. I'm sure a couple of them will be watching quite now, because they take an interest in not just EKM but their customers as well, constantly on the phone, constantly engaging with people, and that's the way that we want it. We're here to help and support everybody, but with the established plan you get that sort of dedicated one-on-one account manager. So yes, it is worth the price, and the benefits are substantial. And a lot of customers, we get feedback from a lot of customers, and I personally send out surveys to all our established tier customers to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do. Is there anything else that they need from us? And the feedback is in the main is very, very positive indeed. So I'm not a salesperson. I'm not trying to promote anybody to go onto the established tier. Personally, I think it sells itself, and if you try it, I think very much that you will benefit from it. I hope that answered that question. Darren, is it worth paying a web designer to help build my shop?
I personally would say no, because I think you asked a question about the themes earlier as well. I know that you said you couldn't find anything on the themes that you kind of interested you, but the themes are built and optimised for not just for EKM but for you and for how shops and e-commerce should be online. Web designers are great, and we would never, like Stephen said earlier, we've got partner web designers that we can recommend to you, but they wouldn't. We personally would think that using one of our themes would be a little bit better for you, because they understand how EKM works, how everything in the back end works. We've had horror stories in the past where web designers have come in and built customers' sites and then left them where they can't even edit the shop, they can't add new products, they can't edit current products. So it would be, if you were going to get a web designer to build your site, we would definitely probably ask our support team for a little bit of advice on that, because you can get stuck into a little bit of trouble sometimes with that. But like I said, our themes, and we said to you earlier, our themes can be edited if you need to, like small tweaks. So hopefully, if you can give us a call, we can arrange something for you if there is a theme that you could base your site upon.
Yeah, it's important to stress as well that you're building the site not for you but for your customers.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be certain things that you want it, how it looks and feels, etc. But ultimately the most important people are the people that visit your shop and buy from it. So it would be good, Darren, to sort of find out from you, like I said before, what sort of things are you looking for, what things are we lacking that you want us to try and have a look at. And our team can have a look at that for you. And like Gemma says, there's been horror stories where people have gone out through a web designer and then they've been left in limbo because that web designer has left or is not communicating anymore. And then because things are hard-coded or whatever it may be, you might want to have a new feature which EKM releases, and you then find it very difficult to integrate that into your site. So we would always recommend that you stick with one of the themes that we have, and we can tweak it if you want us to tweak it. But certainly get in touch with us, let us know what you're looking for, and we'll see what we can try and do then to try and achieve that as best as what we can do for you. But it's always worth remembering, you're not building the site for you, you're building the site for your customers. They're the ones that need to be sort of engaged with it, and what you think looks good, your customers may not. And we get that a lot with the evolution reviews that we do, and customers are, and I can understand it, are quite precious and get, when we're trying to say to them, look, this theme really is like 2 or 3 years old, you want to be refreshing it, because if you haven't made changes to your theme within the past 2 years, really it's out of date. So you need to be looking at constantly refreshing and revamping your site. And customers don't often like to be told, my website doesn't look too good. They do, they think it looks good, but then they wonder why they're not getting any sales, because they've built the site how they want it, how it looks for them, and it's not for them, it's for your customers ultimately at the end of the day. So it's always worth remembering that. The next one from Cheryl: when you have launched your online shop, how is best to promote your shop?
I think we probably need a whole a whole Facebook Live for that one.
We do. We actually had a Facebook Live session last week, which was Nick and Stephen Palmer. So have a look at our EKM Facebook page, have a scroll down and you'll see the Facebook Live video there, where Nick and Stephen basically talk about how to market your shop, all the different social media channels, etc., the best sort of social media sort of strategies. And I think Gemma might have touched upon it previously, but on our blog, ekm.com/blog, we've got numerous articles on there. And I know that Nick himself has wrote an article around social media, how to manage that, different strategies, etc., which customers should find useful. People often forget to come to us for help and support and look at our blog, etc. But I'd certainly recommend it because there's a lot of good articles on there. And if there's things that aren't on there that you need from us, then let us know. And we can certainly try and have a look at adding various things.
And Cheryl, if you finished doing your shop and you've finished building it, and you've not had your site review yet, then definitely inquire about the site review, because that will also give you some hints and tips on promoting your shop going forward.
Yeah.
So it's always a good thing to have a look into. I think that's it for questions.
I'm just having a quick look at Instagram, because there's been a couple on Instagram as well.
And someone put a slide
On the front page for me, I changed my theme, but it's not that easy when one does not know everything. So this is from Tony. Looks like, Tony, you're looking for a little bit of help and support in terms of changing the look and the feel of your website. I would certainly recommend contacting our support team. They're there to help you at the end of the day. So they might not always be able to achieve what you're looking to try and achieve, dependent on how complex that you are looking to go. But they're the best part of call, if you will, to get help and advice from. And I think, Tony, I've covered that. Barry's saying little updates like these are helpful. Thanks. It's certainly something this is like the third or fourth Facebook Live video that we've done. And we hope that you guys find it useful. We enjoy doing them because we want to give you as much information and help and support you as much as possible. I would say that, sort of managing customer support, etc. But ultimately, here at EKM, we are only as strong as what you guys are. So if you guys aren't successful, we are not successful. So it's in our mutual interest for us to do everything that we can do to try and help you. And that's what we're here to do. So if you've got any questions or anything along those sort of lines, you only need to contact our support team. And they will do their best, I can assure you, every time that you contact us to provide you with the answers that you're looking for. We've got another question. What's the most important thing when building an online shop?
Oh, God.
Wow.
Pick one thing. I'd say to enjoy doing it. For me, you need to enjoy what you do. Love what you do. That's our motto over here.
For me, I would say, like I mentioned before, in terms of get as much feedback as you can, get as many people going onto your website, going onto the products, purchasing products or practice purchasing, whatever it may be. Get as much feedback as you can do about the user experience of your website, because if your website is not user friendly and people are struggling to buy from you, then you are going to be launching a shop which nobody is going to be able to buy from, or very limited sales. So the best thing to do really is to get as much information and much feedback as you can do, in my opinion, because you might think, like I said before, you might think that the shop looks really good and works in the right way, yet family members, friends go on it and say, well, actually, I don't quite like this, or why don't you do this? And you might then, it might be an idea that you've not thought about. So as much feedback as possible, I would try and do. Following on from that, how do I get people to my online shop? Well, that's where, again, really the marketing side of things comes in. In terms of the search engines, etc., you will be submitted to search engines. But like Gemma says, unfortunately, we can't just control that you will get into search engines straight away on page one and within 2-3 weeks, whatever it may be. It doesn't work like that. It's difficult. No one's going to sort of say it's not difficult, but with a bit of hard work, you can achieve what you are looking to try and achieve. How do you get people to it? Best way at this moment in time is social media.
Definitely.
Setting up a social media like Facebook, Instagram, all different accounts that you can do. I would, like I say, strongly recommend that you have a look at the last Facebook Live video with Nick and Stephen. Very useful points in there. Strongly recommend that to everybody to have a look at.
Even not just new businesses, and even established businesses should always be using the social media as well, because it's just a massive platform now to increase your visitations and things. So yeah, definitely look at that Facebook Live. Past video. Any other questions?
Question coming in. When will mobile commerce receive an update allowing us to add slides, etc.? Very good question. And it's something that's on the radar for us, and we're actually working on that at this moment in time. Obviously, mobile is very, very important, and I think there's more and more traffic going through mobile than there is desktop these days. So at EKM, we acknowledge that. The mobile theme that we have is pretty rigid and limited, if you will, but it's designed that way for a reason. It's mobile optimized, so it's not going to present your whole website on the mobile phone, which is then difficult to navigate and get through, and people are trying to click on links and they can't do because it's so small or whatever it may be. It's better for your user experience, but we also acknowledge that it could probably look a bit prettier in certain aspects, if you will, and that's something that we are trying to work on at this moment in time.
Yeah, just following on from that, if it was it a slide you said? Slides. If it was like a slide and banner that you wanted, or there was something in particular that you did want that wasn't a complete downgrade, like shrinkage of your current site, then do email in support@ukm.com, because there are certain tweaks that we can do to the mobile site for you to make it look a little bit different if you need anything.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's always worth asking the question, because you might be surprised with the answer for that one. I feel like there's any other?
No other questions so far. I think from my point of view, what I would like to sort of stress is that we are here to help and support everybody. So if you're new to EKM, if you've been with us for 10 years and you've got multiple shops with us, etc., I want us to help you, and EKM want to help you as much as possible. So we've got numerous ways to get in contact with us and our support team, via telephone, via email, via live chat. Like I said, there's the customer forum, Facebook, Twitter, etc. We're here as much as possible to help you. So please don't feel that there's any silly questions, because there aren't. If you're struggling with a certain aspect, pick up the phone, get in contact with us, and we'll be more than happy to go through anything for you.
Don't do that question. To move my domains to EKM, is it something you do or the original host does? Mike, it would be a little bit of a combination of both. You would have to do stuff. You'd have to contact us and the original host, but it's a really quick and painless procedure. So yeah, it shouldn't be any issues. But if you've got any issues, then do just contact us at support. We can help you with that.
Yeah, contact us in the first place. We can talk you through what you need to do and what you need to say, if you will, to your current supplier. So we will do whatever we can do to make that as a painless experience as possible for you.
Is live chat good for me to offer on my online shop? I would definitely say yes. It's a feature that previously we used to actually charge customers for, and it's obviously now part of our packages. It's a really great feature to have. We're going to talk a little bit more about features, but we've had more questions than we were originally anticipating, or maybe we just talked too much. But live chat is definitely a really fantastic feature. It's completely free, and it's something that in this day and age is really essential to have on your shop. We do understand, however, that you're not always going to have a member of staff that can monitor live chat, but the beauty of it is that you can receive messages on there. So we talked earlier about having contact details on your shop. If you have a little button at the bottom of your website that says, we're currently offline, but send us a quick email, it's so quick and painless for the customer to be able to contact you that even if you don't have the resources to be able to monitor live chat 24 hours a day, it's definitely a really good feature to have. But yeah, we've got 1 minute 56 left on Instagram there.
Yes, we're shortly going to be leaving Instagram, but we will continue over on Facebook. We are being prompted to sort of tell people about features. Like I said at the start, this is a very broad subject in terms of building a shop, and certainly would take longer for us to cover in just a 1 hour Facebook live session. There are numerous features within the features section of the EKM back end, if you will, and I would recommend that you have a look at those and have a look and see what you think works well. There are things like live chat, like Gemma's mentioned, web statistics, import-export is very good to use if you're wanting to make bulk changes very quickly to your site, etc. Discount management, if you're wanting to offer discounts on any products or whatever it may be, discount management is a very good feature to be looking at as well.
Yeah, all of our features are included as well. And one thing I would say is don't be afraid of trying any of them out. If you install it and you're not sure about it, then they're really easy to uninstall as well. But yeah, the ones you've covered are really good.
It probably would be good for us to do a further session, which we will do. And if people have got ideas and suggestions for other Facebook Live sessions that they want to see us do, I'd very much like our support team to do these as sort of much as possible as well. So to get members of our support team to come and sit here, answer any questions that you guys have got, or go through specific elements of EKM, etc. I would certainly want us to be able to do that. So if there's anything that you guys want us to be able to cover off, then please email us, and we will certainly have a look at providing that for you, definitely.
We'll be doing another live session soon. Well, actually, we've got one on the 28th, not us, but another members of our team have got a session on the 28th of February at 12 o'clock, which is all about the account managers, which is really good for any startup companies to understand what they do for you. I would like her to.
I'm not quite sure. What are the top 5 features you would recommend? We've just gone through a few of the features that we would recommend. Obviously, that's different for each shop. So what you're trying to achieve, whether you want to offer discounts, whether you want to have promotions, etc., is certainly something that proves very popular with customers. But like Gemma says, have a look, try them. It can't hurt, etc.
Some won't work for everyone, and we understand that, which is why they're added extras there for you. We don't force them upon you. But yeah, there's so many out there that would really benefit your shop, so we would definitely I know customers who've had shops with us for like 5 years and never installed a feature, so it's always useful to have a look in that time, and don't be afraid, because everything can go back to normal if you don't like how it helps you.
Yeah, and our support team, like I say, on hand to answer any questions that you've got, pre-install of any features as well. But if you go to help.ekm.com as well, there are numerous support guides on there, and numerous things around features which will either help you install them or go through those features in more detail as well. So yeah, just have a play around, and if you get a bit stuck or have any questions, then you know where we are. We've got a question, do we still offer a non-e-commerce platform? It's not something that we are promoting any longer, no. EKM is focusing its efforts really on e-commerce and becoming a market leader, or is the market leader in e-commerce. That's why we've invested quite heavily with our sort of staff, if you will, in terms of e-commerce experts, account managers, evolution mode. We want to help e-commerce businesses. So a non-e-commerce platform, it's not really something that we are focusing our attentions on at this moment in time, unfortunately. So I apologise, but if you're wanting sort of like a brochure site, then it's still something that we can do through EKM. We can remove sort of like add to cart buttons for you. So it's still something that's possible through us. And if you want to have a chat with one of our sales team, they'll be more than happy to go through that. And again, you'd get the 6 months account management as well, whether you're building an e-commerce site or a brochure site. So they would be on hand to help build a site with you and answer any questions that you've got as well. I think
unless anyone's got any last minute questions.
It doesn't look like it, and we're 3 minutes over. We've not had any tea yet, so we are looking forward to getting something to eat.
A little bit.
But I think we will call time on it. Yeah. So, here we go. Oh, we're approaching the end now. We are.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so thank you very much for everybody having a watch of this session. I know that at the start there's quite a lot of information, so if you've not had time to, or you didn't tune in at the start, etc., please have a listen back, because Gemma's covered quite a few important points there for you. But if you have any questions, all you need to do is get in contact with us, and we'll be more than happy to help. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you.